Hello everyone and welcome back to Scholastically Natalie, where we talk about books, writing, and occasionally D&D. We're continuing to read Candide by Voltaire, because I forgot how good it is. And I have paused watching Milk Tea Reacts, who I love. She has the sense of humor that's right up my alley. Anyways, today we are reading Chapter 2, which is also exceedingly short, which is called What Became of Candide Among the Bulgars, by Voltaire. I'm not sure if I'm saying Bulgars right, or Bulgars, because it probably means Bulgarians, so Bulgars. I'll probably switch between the two and I'll probably end up back at Bulgars, so I apologize for that. In the last chapter, he was caught kissing Cunegande, who is the daughter of the baron that he served, and was promptly exiled from his castle. Candide, driven from terrestrial paradise, walked for a long time without knowing where, weeping, raising his eyes to heaven, turning them often towards the most magnificent of castles, where the most beautiful of barons' daughters was imprisoned. And here we just get some more of that great exaggeration, where he's immediately decided that Cunegande is in fact the most beautiful of all possible barons' daughters. He lay down to sleep without supper in the middle of a field between two furrows. The snow fell in large flakes. The next day, Candide, frozen stiff, dragged himself towards the neighboring town, which was called Waldberghof Trarbdigdorf. With no money, dying of hunger and fatigue, he stopped sorrowfully at the door of an inn. Two men dressed in blue noticed him. "Comrade," said one to the other, "now there is a well-built young fellow, and he is of the required height." They went up to Candide and very civilly invited him to dinner. "Gentlemen," replied Candide, with a most engaging modesty, "you do me great honor, but I have no money to pay my share." "Oh, sir," said one of the blues to him, "people of your appearance and of your merit never pay anything. Are you not 5 feet 5 inches tall?" "Yes, sir, that is my height," answered he, making a low bow. "Then come, sir, take a seat. Not only will we pay your share, but we will never suffer such a man as you to want money. Men are born only to assist one another." "You are right," said Candide. "This is what Pangloss always taught me, and I see plainly that everything is for the best." They asked him to accept a few crowns. He took them, and offered to pay his bill. They refused. Then they all sat down at the table. "Are you fervent in your love?" "Oh, yes," he replied. "I love Miss Cunegande with all my heart." "No," said one of the gentlemen. "We are asking if you deeply love the king of the Bulgars." "Not at all," he replied, "because I have never seen him." "What? He is the best of kings, and we must drink to his health." "Oh, very willingly, gentlemen." And he drank. "That's it, then," they told him. "Now you are the help, the support, the defender, and the hero of the Bulgars. Your fortune is made, and your glory is assured." Here, this is a mimic of how they used to conscript sailors for the Navy in Britain. I don't know if they did it in France, I just know about the one in Britain, where they would put a coin at the bottom of a stein of usually beer, so it was colored, and then once the person had drunk it and therefore accepted the coin, they had agreed to the recruitment, which, a little bit not good ethics. And with that, they clapped him in irons and carried him off to the barracks. There he was made to wheel about to the right and to the left, to draw arms, to lower arms, to aim, to fire, to quick march, and he was given 30 blows with a cudgel. The next day he performed the exercise a little less badly, and received just 20 blows. The day after that they gave him only 10, and his comrades considered him a prodigy. And here we're seeing the proficiency and the method of training. Candide, all stupefied, had not yet quite worked out that he was a hero. One fine spring day, he decided to go for a walk, striding straight forwards, in the belief that it was a privilege of the human, as well as of the animal species, to make use of their legs as they please. I love this phrasing because the author is just being so sarcastic here, which makes me laugh. And I love that he's purposefully drawing attention to the term hero, in that when you're considering soldiers and those who are doing battle, they're not, sometimes it's not willingly and sometimes they don't want to. He had not advanced 2 leagues when he was overtaken by 4 other heroes, each 6 feet tall, who tied him up and carried him to a dungeon. At a court-martial he was asked which he would like the best, to be flogged 36 times by the whole regiment, or to receive 12 balls of lead in his brain in one go. In vain he maintained that human will is free and that he chose neither one nor the other. He was forced to make a choice. He determined, by virtue of the gift of God called liberty, to run the gauntlet 36 times. He suffered this twice. The regiment was composed of 2,000 men. For him this amounted to 4,000 strokes, which laid bare all his muscles and nerves, from the nape of his neck right down to his rump. As they were going to proceed to a 3rd whipping, Candide, unable to bear any more, begged that they would be so good as to shoot him. He was granted this favor. They blindfolded him and made him kneel down. The king of the Bulgars passed at this moment and inquired as to the nature of the crime. And as he was a king of great genius, he understood from all that he learned of Candide that he was a young metaphysician, extremely ignorant of the things of this world, and he accorded him his pardon with a clemency which will be praised in all newspapers throughout the ages. An able surgeon cured Candide in 3 weeks by means of ointments advised by Dioscorides, who was an ancient Greek physician. He had already a little skin and was able to walk when the king of the Bulgars declared war on the king of the Avars. So, I like this chapter because it does call into question free will and the ability to make choices, and how even if we have the ability to make choices, we might not make the right one. Or perhaps we do, because while this is a chapter built on coincidences, we also have the fact that Candide wouldn't have survived if he hadn't chosen to be whipped and then begged to be shot. But if he had agreed to be shot first, which some would think would be the better choice, he wouldn't have survived because they wouldn't have taken the time that allowed the king to pass by. So I really like Candide. It brings up a lot of interesting and fun questions of predestination and everything turning out for the best, while making fun of all of that, that are clearly still debated to this day, that in a way that makes it fun. Again, that was a super short chapter. I hope you enjoyed it. I do love reading Candide. It makes me laugh a lot. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. Hope you have a good time. And I will see you all in the next one. Scholastically Natalie is out.